Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Join the Patreon to keep the channel afloat, and like and subscribe to break more stuff next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Nimona from Nimona, who brings a very let's burn this place to the ground vibe to the city that the government doesn't really appreciate.
Face tonight! Give me something free!
Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, let's scratch that shape-shifting itch by shifting our shape to whatever we need to be. Animals, dragons, demonic possessed children, gotta mix it up. Next, we need to take a hit or two without having to worry about it. It's pretty metal to not flinch when someone pulls an arrow out of your leg. Finally, cereal breath. That's actually kind of hard. There should be dragons in D&D with bludgeoning breath. That'd be cool. Just like there should be a meal delivery service that sends you fresh meals that are ready to eat in 2 minutes. Hey, that's like today's sponsor, Factor, because Factor is a meal delivery service that sends you fresh, never frozen meals that are ready to eat in 2 minutes. Because they're not frozen, that flavor is off the charts. If you're like me this summer, you're pretty busy. I gotta move into a new apartment and be a groomsman in a wedding next week. Yikes. So I don't want to spend a ton of time in the grocery store or cooking in the kitchen, but I also don't want meals that are unhealthy. That's why I really like the Calorie Smart option. It's a bunch of meals under 550 calories that still fulfill my nutritional requirements and my flavor requirements. You also don't have to feel guilty about having this stuff delivered because Factor offsets 100% of their delivery emissions. And all their production sites and offices are running on 100% renewable energy. Even the seafood is sustainably sourced. They're looking out for you, and they're looking out for the planet Earth. I want you to try Factor because I want to save you some time and deliver some flavor to you. So head to factor75.com, enter offer code TULOK50 at checkout, and get 50% off your first Factor box. Now, back to that video. For stats, we'll be using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, just keep your multi-classing minimums in mind. Wisdom will be number 1. It's those natural instincts that tell you if it's ostrich time, shark time, or otter time. Constitution next. Look, sometimes the plan is to get stabbed through the chest while you bamboozle, and you gotta roll with that. Strength after that, there's some casual super strength that occasionally comes out or whatever. Followed up with dexterity. Despite the lack of delicacy, you're quick and nimble when you need to be. Intelligence is a bit low. Come on, you're mixing up aspects of river and sea otters? Embarrassing. Get your crap together. We'll dump charisma. Whoopsie doopsie, I failed my persuasion check and plunged the world into a 1,000-year police state. We've all been there. Nimona is a natural shapeshifter, so we'll make her a changeling, making you a portmanteau of shapeshifter and changeling, shape changer. That'll let you change your appearance as an action, as long as you don't change sizes and have the same number of limbs. Thumbs aren't limbs, so guess who has 4 thumbs and can shape change to have 4 thumbs. You also get 2 free skills like intimidation to be a scary monster and deception to lie to the head of the state for comedy and prove your new guard friend's innocence, mostly for comedy. From your background, grab athletics and sleight of hand for non-subtle breaking and more subtle stealing. We'll kick things off as a druid for some animal shapes next level. For now, you get survival and perception. Lord knows we don't get animal handling. The animals did not like you. You also get some early spells, guidance and resistance, give a creature a d4 to add to ability checks or saving throws. Support is an important part of being the best sidekick ever. For first level spells, standard physical boosts like jump and long strider can go a long way, or at least help you jump or stride a long way. Triple jump distance, 10 feet faster movement speed, neither are concentration. So when we hit second level druid and get to wild shape, you can cast them before you enter your shape and be an even wilder animal. Since we're going moon druid, let's just combine everything on one graphic and describe it all at once. With circle forms, your beast shapes can be challenge rating 1 or lower, and you can transform as a bonus action instead of an action. While wild shape, you can spend a spell slot to heal 1d8 as a bonus action, so you can shark for a longer amount of time, though you actually can't shark until we hit 4th level, because right now you can't have a swimming or a flying speed. Also worth noting, when you shape into a new animal, you get that animal's HP, and when that HP goes away, you go back to your normal druid HP. It kind of makes druid the best tank class. Woohoo. Third level druids get second level spells. Enlarge Reduce lets you change in size to suit your mood. Larger, smaller. If you get larger, you get an extra d4 of damage to your attacks with weapons, not weapon attacks. It's a stupid distinction that I don't like. If you get smaller, you take a d4 penalty, but that will let you vary your shape shifting between larger creatures or smaller creatures as a changeling. You can also force a constitution saving throw on another creature if you want to do it to them, but that's not in character. Just get big or small. Fourth level druids get an ability score improvement. Start working your wisdom since your physical stuff is going to be pretty much tied to becoming a freaking gorilla. Druids are so busted, you can be the muscle as a big animal, stealth as the tiny animal, and now you can wild shape to swim too. Oh, and you can tank because the extra wild shape HP makes you tankier than barbarians. Is ridiculous. 5th level druids can learn 3rd level spells. Feign death really lets you sell that scene, making a creature appear dead for up to an hour or until you end it early. No performance check needed, which is great. Your charisma sucks. 6th level moon druids get primal strike, making your attacks magical while you're wild shaped in terms of overcoming resistances. Should help you carve through that futuristic sci-fantasy armor. Your circle forms also let you transform into creatures of challenge rating equal to 1/3 your druid level, or 2 at the moment. Much more fun options here. Check them out. I'm not listing the animals. This isn't the Poke Rap. 7th level druids can learn 4th level spells. Freedom of movement makes sure no cell can hold you, stopping anything from slowing you down or restraining you, and you can break out of non-magical shackles with 5 feet of movement. Then just something you win. Figure that out as you go. Guardian of Nature is another great option to pop before you go into a wild shape to put a little more oomph on it. You get one of 2 suites of buffs. Beast makes more sense for you, giving you 10 feet more movement speed, 120 feet of dark vision. Strength-based attacks have advantage, and you can add an extra d6 of damage to your strength-based attacks for up to a minute depending on your concentration. It's Hunter's Mark, dark vision, reckless attack without the penalty, and long strider all in one bonus action cast. Really good stuff. Oh shoot, or stone skin. That could be another option. It'll give you resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage for up to an hour. It's great for just shrugging stuff off. 8th level druids get another ability score improvement. We can actually just start investing in constitution instead here. We're not using our wisdom for anything at the moment at all. We will later, but we'll have another ability score improvement before that to get it ready. Trust me, I worked all the planning out on my murder wall. And your wild shape can fly now. Trust me, you're gonna want the wings later. 9th level druids can learn 5th level spells, and we'll take it lets you when you depending on your concentration. More importantly, wild shapes have challenge rating 3 or lower. That's more metal, or not more metal, because druids can't wear metal. 10th level moon druids get elemental wild shape, letting you use both of your uses of wild shape to turn into an earth, air, water, or fire elemental. Fire elemental is maybe the closest we can get to a phoenix form if we want to destroy the Death Star laser. And you of course don't die when it's over. It's just going to waste the elemental's HP. No need to cry in the club. 11th level druids can learn 6th level spells. Investiture of Stone is like stone skin, but you can also force a dexterity saving throw on creatures within 15 feet of you and knock them prone if they fail. Maybe the cereal breath doesn't do damage. I mean, it probably does. It should do damage. We'll get something for it later. This is just another great buff suite to pop before you wild shape. 12th level druids get another ability score improvement. Cap off that wisdom. Next level, we need it for something. Oh, and you can turn into beasts of challenge rating 4 or lower, and we're about to make all of those wild shapes so much more fun. Because 13th level druids get 7th level spells, including the funnest buff suite before a wild shape, Draconic Transformation. He'll give you a 60-foot flying speed, 30 feet of blind sight, and a breath weapon attack that forces a dexterity saving throw on creatures in a 60-foot cone, dealing 6d8 force damage to creatures that fail or half as much on a successful saving throw. Cereal obviously does force damage. Force is raw arcane energy, primordial and unfocused. If that doesn't say high fructose corn syrup and cuts all up the roof of your mouth that ache for days, I don't know what does. These buffs last for a minute depending on your concentration, so if you pop it before the wild shape, add dragon to whatever animal you go with. Elephant dragon, that's an option now. 14th level moon druids get 1,000 forms, letting you cast alter self at will. That can give you a magical natural weapon that deals 1d6 piercing, bludgeoning, or slashing damage with a +1 to attack and damage rolls, water breathing, or changing your shape without illusory magic. Honestly, it's not that great for a 2nd level spell, but getting to use it like a cantrip can be pretty useful, situationally, I guess. 15th level druids can cast 8th level spells. I think you can use animal shapes on yourself. It says on others in the description, but then says creatures you can see in the description, which always implies yourself for other spells. If you can't, I guess don't, but if you can, you can swap your animal forms more frequently as long as they stay below challenge rating 4. There aren't really that many beasts above 4, although now you can go to challenge rating 5 with your wild shapes. That's Triceratops, Giant Shark, and Giant Crocodile unlocked. Or dragon versions of all of those. Dragon version of a giant crocodile, that's just a dragon. 16th level druids get another ability score improvement. Cap off your constitution modifier for the biggest potential HP pool before you start shifting. 17th level druids can learn 9th level spells. Shape change lets you change into another creature of challenge rating equal to or lower than your current level. It lasts for an hour depending on your concentration. You get all of the HP of that creature. Then you can change into other creatures but can't gain more HP by shifting into other stuff. If you really know your monster manual, you can pick something with the most HP, then keep scaling it down to things with less HP and more DPS while you lay siege to a city to destroy that statue. You're You're planning on destroying that statue, right? Nothing sadder than that, right? Oh god, please tell me you just want to destroy the statue. Also, you can cast any druid spells while you're in this form, so even though I've been holding back since we normally can't cast while wild shaping, look through that list, scoop up some good stuff. 18th level druids get Timeless Body, making you age at 1/10 the normal rate. That way you can be traumatized for 1,000 years. Oof, bummer. You also get Beast spells, letting you cast spells while wild shaped. Now, instead of picking a suite of buffs before you wild shape, you can mix it up during the wild shape. And since you can rock challenge rating 6 or lower now, that means you can be a dragon mammoth, or a rock mammoth, or a mammoth with 10 extra feet of movement speed. Dream big, like a mammoth. 19th level druids get our last ability score improvement or feat. We could go for tough, but there's really no reason to. You can give yourself 250 HP with 2 bonus actions and already have 200 HP already. So instead, resilient for your constitution. That gives you proficiency with the saving throw for a +11 modifier. Would Warcaster be better for advantage on the roll? No, statistically, advantage is less than a +6 bonus. It's around a +4-ish bonus. Or do Warcast if you want. Some people make it their whole personality. Whatever. I just want the shape change to stay up until you drain the HP bar of the gargantuan monstrosity you used to destroy the city. Our capstone is the 20th level of druid for archdruid and an unlimited number of wild shapes. It's the strongest ability in the game. You can give yourself 126 temporary HP as a bonus action every turn with a mammoth wild shape. RP wise though, you can also use it to switch the animal shape you're in every turn of combat for some more Looney Tunes style shenanigans. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, you can't die. That's pretty good. Second, the mid-CR beasts pump out some consistent damage, and it's all magical, so resistance shouldn't be a problem. Finally, the utility of being able to turn into the entire monster manual is impossible to properly quantify. For weaknesses, your charisma is bad. If you're not scaring people or lying, you can't really talk your way out of things. You're also not super subtle without a solid stealth score, unless you turn into a rat or a cat or a bird or something. You can do that at will, so that's pretty solid. Finally, you could drop concentration on shape change. You've got really good concentration with a +11 save, but it's possible, technically. And then what? You can only be a mammoth at will, or a giant shark, or a dragon tiger? Oh no. Yeah, cap druids are busted, but Nimona's been through a lot, so she deserves it. Be whatever you want to be, and you'll find a friend. Eventually. Might take a while. Can't take forever though. Right? Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe for more. We're making more videos. Join the Patreon if you want to keep the channel going, and check out Tulok and Mango for more Tulok fun.